Welcome back, everybody. And in this video, we're going to be covering the freshwater intake for our ballast system and I'll give you an overview of the pieces that I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be doing in this video. So here we go. So we're going to be using our bronze through hole fitting. This is a 1-inch. We have a 1-inch elbow, and we also have a 1-inch barbed hose fitting. When it's assembled, it's going to look like that, and that should cover us. We're also going to be using some 3M 4200 fast cure. We do not need 5200. 5200 is not needed. In case we ever need to remove this, we can, for whatever reason. We're going to use some plumber's tape around threads, make sure everything's sealed up. And another thing that we're not going to be using, we're not going to be using a valve on this. And I know you guys might be thinking, well, Jeff, that's code, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I mean, I could put one on there, but it's just another piece to fail. The reason I'm not going to do that is I won't be able to get access to this. If something happens and the hose breaks or whatever, and I got water coming in, my solution for that is I'm going to use a rubber plug, something like this here. And that way, I can actually take the plug, I can put it in there, and that's going to seal everything up. Even if it's got a little bit of a drip, that's fine. My bilge can take care of the rest. It's not like this is a V-dry boat where you have quick access to it. If I did, I would use a valve, no problem. But in this situation, I won't be able to get to it. Everything's going to be down in there. I got to take all this out to get access to it. So there's just no way in an emergency that I can plug this or shut it off. That's why I need to have a plan, and that's why I'm going to use the plug. The other thing is, everything here is metal. I'm not going to worry about a plastic piece breaking from vibration. This will be good to go. Worst case scenario, it's got a little leak for some reason. The bilge will completely take care of that and handle that. Boats leak a little bit of water, it's a boat, and get wet, nothing to freak out about. So that is why I'm doing it this way. So there is a plan, there is a safety protocol, and that's it. Say I gotta leave my boat in the water for a month and not be able to see it. This is my plan. Use the plug. So let's get to it. First thing, we're gonna pull this tray out, then we're gonna pull the mufflers out, then we're gonna get a look, figure out where I'm gonna drill holes, and go from there. So let's get started. Alrighty, now out of all these steps, this is gonna be the part that's probably gonna piss you off. It's the hardest part, is getting this muffler out. It'll come out, you just gotta take your time. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to loosen this band strap, and that is done very easily like that. We're gonna have to remove these clamps. This goes from the muffler to your exhaust outlet. So we need it to loosen this, and then I believe we can get this out. We're gonna find out. It's been a while since I've done this. And there we go. Okay, so we gotta remove some band clamps. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna loosen up that clamp there, and then there's a second one back there. We got both of those loosened up, so we can pull this muffler off. So this is where I'm going to mount my freshwater intakes. I'm going to mount them here and there. I'm going to mount them roughly right here in the middle. That way I have the ability to thread this this fitting on, because if I have it too close to the edge, this edge, I won't be able to thread it on or off. I'm just going to go right here in the middle. It's below the exhaust. It's going to sit below the muffler. And I'll have to drill a hole into this wood bulkhead, and possibly another one into here, and then into the bulkhead here to run the hose into the engine bay. Right in there is our engine bay, and that seems to be the plan. I don't have to really worry about anything, and that's it. And again, there's no way if I had shutoff valves on this, I can't get to them. Impossible. If I want to add some more of these later on, I could go right here with them. I could even go right here with them. So I do have some options. So that is the plan. Let's get to it. Alrighty guys, this is the underside. There's my scupper valve. And again, we're gonna go right here in these two locations. I'm gonna drill my hole from the inside, and that's how it should work. I was debating right here, but I think I'm gonna go right here first. And again, I can put my plug in case something happens, I can get to it, and that's it. So, okay, so we got our holes marked. I traced the outline of it. I verified where it's gonna be. So now I'm gonna drill a hole in the center with my drill, my pilot hole, just like we did the outside fittings. It's the same size hole, and we're gonna push them through. There we go. There's one. There is one. I'd say the back is a tiny bit thicker than the front. Maybe. It's hard to say. Got my 3200. I got this thing that's dangling. So I'm gonna take 3200, I'm gonna go around this. We're gonna push it up, and then we're gonna tighten it down. You do not have to wrench this thing down like it's an axle nut. It's gonna seal. You will crack your fiberglass, your gel coat. Crank on it too hard. Another thing, the reason you wanna use the right size hole saw bit is you want that hole to be as snug around those threads as possible. Just less of a chance of a leak, okay? So, also, you're probably gonna wanna order that hole saw bit because most stores do not have that size. And there we go. Screwed on. Let's get the rest of the fittings put on. So we got everything in. One thing to note for anybody else doing this. This location right here, the floor isn't perfectly flat. it's kind of got a little bit of a hump. So after we push this in, I backed the nut back off. I didn't get it on camera. I backed the nut back off and actually put some 4200 below it, just because the nut isn't completely flush on the surface here. And that's pretty much it. Now that we got the fittings on, I'm gonna say the next step that we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some holes in here. We're gonna cut a hole here, we're gonna cut a hole here, and then that way, and we're gonna have to do one here as well on both sides, and that way we can run our tubing up to the front. So since I'm running an inch hose back to these freshwater intakes, I'm gonna use an 1.5 inch drill bit. I also got to get my 90-degree drill, and this is why. As you can see, my other drill, I got enough room for this, but my other drill I couldn't fit it. Now I could probably drill at an angle. You know, there's many ways that you can do this. I've seen some guys on the forum, what they actually do is they actually just, they cut this down and then they put it back up. I mean, you have all kinds of options. I'm just gonna drill a hole, bada bing, bada bing. Quick pause on the video. Yes, if you use your drill at an angle, you can get through this. It's not a big deal. I ended up using a little bit larger hole saw on this side right here, just to give me some more room with the hose. So don't need to go out and purchase a 90-degree drill. That's it, back to the video. Alrighty, so we got everything done. We got all of our through hole fittings done. We got our holes drilled and done for the hoses to pass through. I went ahead and took some silicone, just like we did on the through hole fittings, just some like outdoor silicone. I just smeared them around the holes to kind of water seal these little things up, you know, and then that's it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let this sucker dry overnight, come back out here tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead and we'll drill the holes and get the pumps mounted, and then run the lines to the bags, and that should be it. Again, we're gonna let everything dry, come back and do part, I don't even know what part this is, but we're gonna come back on the next video and we're gonna mount the ballast pumps, run all the fill lines and everything else. I will also fill this engine bay. I'm gonna fill it up with water and make sure that nothing's leaking out around those fittings. And that should be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. It helps me out a bunch. Appreciate it. Bye.